Hi everyone, my name is Allie Wise from Grief and Grace, and this week I'm talking about 18 weeks with baby after loss. So just to kind of reintroduce my story a little bit very quickly, I had my first miscarriage at 11 to 11 and a half weeks with our child who we named Hannah, and that was in November of 2024. And then February of 2025, February of this year, I had a really early loss at 5 weeks. So this is now my first pregnancy after both of those losses, and I'm currently 18 and a half weeks today. So I'm going to talk about kind of how I'm feeling now and over the last couple of days. Last week I talked about how unfortunately I got sick. Me and my kids got sick last week. So that was not fun, and it's been about a week and a half since I first got sick, and I'm finally starting to feel better and get back to baseline a little bit more. But I will say, this lasted, for a week and a half, I was just not really feeling right. And I don't know if it's because I'm pregnant and maybe just, my immune system is a little wonky. So if it took longer to recover because of that. But it is also kind of a little disappointing that before I got sick, I was finally feeling over the first trimester nausea and throwing up stage. I will say, since I've had the stomach virus, a week and a half ago, I haven't physically gotten sick since then, which is good, but I am nauseous again. So that is an interesting symptom that seems to have come back, and who knows, maybe it won't go away. This just might be a pregnancy where I'm nauseous the whole pregnancy, and thankfully it's not really severe. It's annoying but manageable. And I have been taking those nausea candies again that I mentioned in one of my first videos. I mentioned that I've been taking them. They're called the pink stork, and it's anti-nausea candies. They might also have ones that are called specifically for morning sickness, but same thing. Anti-nausea candies, the morning sickness candies. I think it's because they might have started with just the anti-nausea ones for cancer patients, and then maybe relabeled them as morning sickness too, but I think it's the same thing. So sometimes when I get it in the mail, it says anti-nausea and sometimes it says morning sickness, but I really like the ginger mango ones, and those I just kind of take them a few times a day whenever I feel like I need it. So far morning has been the worst for me, so whatever. If I'm gonna be a little bit nauseous the rest of the pregnancy, I will manage. It'll be fine. But so that's how I'm doing physically. Mentally and emotionally, I am feeling a lot better. I'm feeling pretty happy. I'm starting to feel pretty happy and joyful, which is great. I've been starting to talk to the baby more, and actually starting to get excited and look forward to meeting baby, and just seeing how having this baby will, hopefully for the better, change our family dynamic and how the kids are going to react to having the baby. So I have been a lot more joyous lately, which has been good. But I've also been super emotional too. So I'm curious if any of you are feeling the same way, if you're following along, and if you're about 18 and a half weeks pregnant, or wherever you are in your pregnancy journey. I'd be just very curious to know how you're feeling. I'm just getting so emotional with just this past week. I was crying after reading a book that had nothing to do with pregnancy or miscarriage or anything. It just stirred up, I don't know, my maternal instincts, and just made me really emotional. I've been crying at worship music. I've been crying at TV shows. Just really, I cried actually on Saturday. I laughed. I was listening to a podcast. I picked up some croissants for me and my husband and kids, And I came home and I walked through the door and I'm just crying just from something that they said on the podcast. So again, like it's not like I'm listening to or reading necessarily miscarriage, pregnancy after loss books. They aren't on that theme, but they're just stirring up all the emotions, which I did read my journal. I kept a diary during my pregnancy with my twins, and around this stage I was pretty emotional too. So I think it's just what it is with all the pregnancy hormones and all of that. So I've been very emotional this week. Something I wanted to share is I did actually get back to journaling. So I bought, see it says EXO, Praying Through Pregnancy. It's by Val Marie Paper. And I bought this journal for myself when I was pregnant. And then I started a new one with Hannah. And then, unfortunately, we lost Hannah. And then I started one when I was pregnant in February. And then we lost that baby too. So I was I wasn't trying to be superstitious with it, but I just wasn't feeling ready to start journaling yet. I didn't want to start a journal and then just lose the baby. And so I just felt like, you know what, I'm going to wait until the time is right for me to start journaling again. And so that was 18 and a half weeks. I mean, I just really started journaling. So she breaks it up into, the different weeks and months, and, just about your needs, Dad's needs, what you're praying for, how God's helping you through this pregnancy. So definitely, I would check it out if you're interested. It's just been something that's really nice to pray through the pregnancy. And something I wanted to mention, actually, I noticed this when I first started journaling with my twins. She does have a section at the end, which I thought was just really special to think of grieving moms. I'm going to read it. It says, "Our children we will see again. I would be naive to think that every woman who starts this pregnancy prayer journal will end her journey with a healthy baby. God's plan is for good, but loss is hard no matter how much we know God is in control. Know that my prayers are with you for you to experience a peace and comfort beyond comprehension and healing in your heart that only God can provide. You are not alone." So I just thought that was really sweet. Obviously when you start this journal, you're positive and you're just praying and hoping that this is a healthy pregnancy, but we live in a fallen world and a broken world, and unfortunately that's not always the case, as we know, as grieving moms who have lost babies through miscarriage, through infant loss. And so I just thought that was sweet that she remembered us too. So that's something that I'm trying to do, is just, it's not a nightly thing. I mean, I'm gonna start doing it, probably try to do it weekly. Just, write down some things that I'm feeling and help me journal through this. So before I end, I just wanted to say that I am praying for all of you. I'm thinking of you through this pregnancy. I would love to hear how you're doing, if you could comment below. And then I want to talk about the song I've been listening to this week. This song is called "Fear is a Liar" by Zach Williams. I've been super into Zach Williams lately. I've really been enjoying his music. So let me know if there's any of his songs that you're loving too. And then the scripture that I want to read for the week, I'm going to read it. It's Psalm 147, verses 3-4. "God heals the brokenhearted, binds up their wounds, numbers all the stars, calls each of them by name." I hope that you are all doing well, and I will chat with you next week. Bye.